I want to share with you a real life hypothetical situation after looking at literally hundreds of different bankers, brokers, businesses. And one of the first things that we do when we do our foundation builder programs is we do kind of a deep dive of the lay of the land. What do things look like right now? And I'm always shocked when people don't understand all of the moving parts that go into their business, but I want to just kind of walk you through a generic situation here that's very common. So you've got over here, you've got expenses, and people pay for all kinds of things, right? They've got rent because they need an address. They've got a compliance person that's $250 a month, plus licensing fees, different things. It could be $400 to $600 a month. There's some people I've seen that are paying upwards of $1,000 a month for their little broker shop because they chose to be licensed in 10 states. It becomes very expensive. Tech, they've got their CRM, just their basic tech stack that they've got. Miscellaneous office expenses. If you're just buying paper and stuff, you've got some things there. Credit reports are costing them money. A lot of people go out and they hire this company that's going to 10x their marketing. They're spending, anywhere from $500 to $2,500 a month for a marketing company to go in and do stuff. And then in addition to that, often they're paying some kind of variable fee to run ads or do whatever it is. And on the surface level here, if they're paying $1,000, it's $3,000. I like to use a number. Your marketing should not exceed $1,000 for a funded loan if you're a small little broker shop. And then you've got ops, processing, different things. And I've seen all kinds of things inside of this space, whether somebody's paying a flat, $750 to their processor, they're paying them a salary and an override. When you're a small broker and you've got somebody, you want to keep them there. You don't want to lose them. So often what ends up happening is you way overpay. And this has been an area here where people have seen massive results and success. And if you want to talk to me about it, but if you've got a processor and you're doing 3 to 5 loans and you're hiring a processor in-house, your best bet is you can take that person, offload them to a third-party processing company. They'll still be yours. They'll work with you one-on-one. They're going to get some fee, but it's eliminated all that headache off of stuff you have to do, your payroll, all those things. It moves it over there. And then the neat thing is it's often a lot better for them as well because you can backfill. They can backfill and give them more files because that processor doesn't want to just do your 3 to 5 a month. So this is an area here, but again, we'll kind of dig through. So this is not that untypical or atypical for somebody to be spending $5,000, 9, 10, 15 grand a month just to run their business. Now you close 3 loans. Let's say you have a target in your head, and a lot of brokers I talk with, I like to make X per loan. And that means, right, you take one short, you maybe make one here and there, you make it up, but at the end of the day, you want your blended number to be something. And brokers, right, they move all over the place. They're not doing a lot of stuff at fixed margins. Average loan amount doesn't really matter because you're doing this, but let's say this is, somebody doing, almost $1 million a month. That's $10 million a year. Pretty much what's out there. So this 3 loans, $5,000 generates them $15,000. If I take this, divide by 3, that's $3,000 that they're paying per loan. Gross profit margin about 39%. So every loan they close, they move $1,900 over to the P&L or over into their paycheck. The bank doesn't care how you make it or what the breakout is. This is just what you move over there. And you're still left paying taxes and all kinds of things. So we wonder why people get so frustrated because this is what the business looks like. They're making 70 grand a year. They're working 40 plus hours a week and essentially for $33 an hour. And they say, maybe I should just go work at Tractor Supply as a manager or do something else. So just if this is your business and any of this resonates with you and you bang your head against the wall, and this is why so many people are constantly doing different things here, trying to change up the marketing piece to get them out of that hole. And here's kind of another little scary thing that I see all the time is they've got $3,000 in a marketing expense. It looks pretty good in that $3,000 and 3 loans. I'm at that roughly $1,000 mark. The interesting thing is when you do an audit, probably all 3 of these loans in a lot of cases didn't come from any of the stuff that these people are doing. So you're just kind of wasting your money there. If you were to go through and say, my fixed marketing expense is 0 and my variable marketing expense is 0, you just took yourself from 39% profit margins up to 59, and you're now are making $51 an hour. Let's say you offload this, you still have to pay the expense, you move it around, but let's say you're now using a third-party processing company, your processor is going to make more, and let's say, we'll even leave a fixed marketing expense here. Let's say you're still going to do something, let's say it's $500 a month. And you've got your ops over here, let's say you decrease this down to 15. Now I've really, I've really moved my numbers around, and I'm now making a lot more on every loan that I do. My fixed expenses on that loan came way down. I'm making more per loan, and you can see now I'm in a completely different spot. And for me, when I see people that are making less than 10 grand a month have one set of problems, and that's just like, how am I going to make my car payment? As people get into the 10 grand a month, kind of go from 10 to that 25, you incorporate a different set of problems. How do I get from there to there? And once you kind of get at that 25 grand a month, if you're just running a small little brokerage, maybe you've got a VA and some different things, you're in a position now where you can kind of start to scale your poops in a group, and you can now go from there. But if you were in that initial scenario, and I see this all the time, this is the scenario I see people in all the time when they come into one of our foundation builder programs and they're trying to figure out how to stay afloat, how to make things work. And the only way they can see it is to sprint to closing enough loans. You know, as you close more loans, a lot of your fixed expenses stay the same. The variable, I guess, would go up on here. You know, as you close more loans, you can see that a lot of your fixed cost goes away, but making the jump from 2 closings or 3 closings or 0 1 month, 3 the next, all the way to 10 closings is massive. And you've been spinning your wheels trying to figure out how to do it day in, day out already. If you want a little bit of insight into some of these things and have a deep dive in your business, I'm happy to do it. We can jump on a quick call. Looking at this and just pointing you in a better direction is not super hard, but this is a very typical scenario I see right now for a lot of brokers out there. Why it's becoming so many people are moving to those places where you can just hang your hat, because they take over a lot of that expense. So there's so many different ways to skin, break down, and look at your business, but you've got to kind of step back, understand the lay of the land today, and then where you're going to move forward. But so many moving parts, so many different ways for you to move forward. And the only way to stay the same is just to stay the same. But lots of things will work. If you want to reach out someplace in here, I'll include a link for you to jump on a call if you want to look at your business and see, is there a way for us to level set your business, move some expenses around, fix some things, improve conversion, and help you do more and have a little bit more peace of mind at the end of the day. Again, $30 an hour is not that much fun.